Welcome back, Wolfpack Fearless here, and this is how to use Espeon. Espeon, it's got that Jolteon level stats that it's going to be all special attack, all speed, and a very strong Pokemon from it. 110 base speed, awesome. 130 special attack, even more awesome. So it's all that EV distribution that we've seen. Not the greatest hit points, not the greatest defenses, but special defense is alright. Let's looking at its typing, pure psychic type. We've seen it before, we know how it works, and what else do you need to know? Because we've already done it a couple times. Alright, so let's just cut to the chase, guys. It's a sweeper Pokemon, it's a monotype psychic. Pokemon Showdown is going to show us how to use this Pokemon. What I was thinking is, timid nature, you're going to get a ton of outspeed on a lot of Pokemon. That 350 speed and over 350 special attack is indeed very strong, and we'll drop this down to level 50 really quick just so you guys can get a feel depending on what battle style you like to gauge your numbers off of. And Life Orb is going to be your main go-to right here. Extra 30% damage, you take a little afterwards, but the idea here is you want to get out coverage your opponent, that if you hit them super effective, you're going to hit them really hard, and most likely just go for a straight up KO. Shadow Ball is really good, and Dazzling Gleam work with your weaknesses. Psychic is going to be a very powerful stab move, and also have a good amount of coverage. And then Grass Knot, it just exists, so you might as well do it. There's those off Pokemon that are weak against grass, and you can turn it into something strong. Its ability Magic Bounce makes it to where you're going to be a pretty free sweeper, that you can't get paralyzed, you can't get slowed down in that way. Non-damaging moves are reflected, so you're just good to go. However, the weird thing is, even though Espeon is a sweeper, it's going to get some usage as a tanky, setup-y Pokemon in a weird way. That has a lot of natural speed, so you can set up Light Screen and Reflect sometimes against bulkier Pokemon by having that speed priority. That you can become a really good setup Pokemon for your team, that you can use Light Clay. You have 8 turns of Reflect and Light Screen, and a Yawn for free potential switches, as well as still a form of damaging your opponent. Magic Bounce is going to let you set up that if they won't be able to status you, they'll be too afraid to throw a status, so you can get a free switch in and not get out-predicted too hard. Then you're pretty much giving Light Screen and Reflect for your team, if not yourself, while still having some good damage potential. Since Light Screen and Reflect double, or like it doesn't double your defenses, it halves the damages that you take from any kind of moves. So overall, your defense gets pretty bulky, and your special defense gets pretty bulky, even though you don't have the bulkiest tank stats. It's weird how Espeon can make it work because of the way that it's built. Also, you can make it a baton pass Pokemon, that I was thinking go max defense, bold nature, max hit points, and then go for the Calm Mind. You're still going to have that speed, you're going to have that Magic Bounce covering you, and Calm Mind is going to give you a very high amount of special defense, as well as just some good things going for you overall. What I like with this idea is it can make Espeon to where you can baton pass special defense and special attack into any Pokemon pretty safely, or you can just use it for yourself. That Dazzling Gleam isn't going to wall you out by any typing, like if you just had Psychic, you get walled out by Dark. So Dazzling Gleam makes it to where you can just kind of stay in as this +2, +3 Espeon, and really just hurt your opponents or baton pass out when you feel that you can't do anything to harm your opponent. Citrus Berry is going to be a good amount of initial sustain. That 1 or 2 Calm Minds is going to give you that health bulk to have the Citrus Berry heal you. Morning Sun is going to be a good form of keeping your health up, and then Dazzling Gleam to KO your opponents, or Baton Pass to give those stats to an ally. And last up, we kind of have the same idea, except instead of Baton Pass, just go all in. You know, Calm Mind, use that 3 or 4 times. Stored Power is going to be ridiculously strong, going to have Stab. Leftovers is going to just kind of make you have a lot more staying power overall. And then Dazzling Gleam, Morning Sun, Calm Mind. So overall, you can run Espeon as a Pokemon that's going to set up stats, score KOs, then Baton Pass out when it's not very favorable. You can have Espeon also run just, I'm going to stay in and I'm going to pop you with Store Power. But also it can set up Light Screen Reflect for your team, provide some kind of Yawn coverage. Even with this idea, or the other one, whatever one had Psychic. Even with this idea, you can kind of go for Yawn and not be punished too hard. That, of course, it does mean that you don't have any kind of attacking move on Espeon, so it is like a 5 for 6, but if you Yawn, you get free Calm Minds, Baton Passes, and all that, it can work very well in your favor to really just make that Pokemon that's receiving the Baton Pass a Pokemon that's worth sacrificing off an Espeon's move slots for to help support it, and then Light Screen Reflect set, or just all-out attack. Like, I've been caught off guard by these Espeons because generally you're going to see the Baton Passers more often, you're going to see those setup Espeons, but then all of a sudden Espeon shows up with its 130 basic special attack and OHKOs you. That'll happen. So you can run Espeon many different ways. It's a hard Pokemon to predict, and it can't be statused, so it has a lot of safe options. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Boom! How to use Espeon.